UNICEF Malaysia, at my Unirazak with the hashtag Heroes Among Us. Okay, thank you so much. Now let's start proper. Okay, good morning and Salam Malaysia Madani to Datin Rodia Zakaria, Honorary Assistant Secretary for Malaysian Association of Social Workers. Ms. Jenny Pui, Social Work Director of El Shaddai Berhad, and Madam Jenny Maria Griselius, Dean Tun Ahmad Sarji School of Government and Public Services. Our guests, students, virtual participants who are tuning in online, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program UNICEF MASW, Unirazak Social Workers with the team Heroes Among Us. I am honored to be your MC for this delightful and momentous event. My name is Grace, and first of all, I would like to thank all those who are here for joining this event at University Tun Abdul Razak and those who are virtually tuning in at this social media platform. The objective of today's event is to obtain a thorough grasp of the social work profession, where we will learn more about the significance of this area of work, particularly in Malaysia. This program is organized by Malaysian Association of Social Work and with the collaboration with UNICEF Malaysia and aims to promote awareness on social work and the impact of social workers in the life of marginalized and vulnerable communities in Malaysia, and as well as how the Social Work Profession Bill or RUU Profession Kerja Sosial will strengthen the professionalization of all social workers in Malaysia. We are incredibly grateful to have social work practitioners among us here today to share their experience and perspective on social work or being a social worker. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we start our program for today, I would like to invite Madam Jenny Maria Griselius, Dean of Tun Ahmad Sarji School of Government and Public Services, for the welcoming speech. Yeah, please come.
Thank you so much, Grace. First of all, welcome to my fellow panelists, Datin Rahaida, Miss Jenny, easy to remember, to all our distinguished guests, both here and online. One of the things that I get asked a lot is, why do we have a social work program in a school of government? Because I'm the dean of the Ahmad Sarji School of Government and Public Services. And for me, the answer is actually very straightforward and very easy. Our school is dedicated to nation building. Nation building is the process of holding a country together, developing a country, providing prosperity for all, providing a country that has joint goals for development, joint perspective for the future. But one of the limitations of the nation building approach is that we tend to look at it from the top. Our school is named after one of the greatest nation builders in the country, and the university is named after his mentor. Tun Abdul Razak is, in my book, one of the greatest nation builders in history. And Tun Ahmad Sarji was his right-hand man. When we talk about nation building, we tend to focus on these great men. We tend to focus on the legacy of great statesmen, great politicians, great civil servants that carry titles and glory. And to be honest, that's what our undergraduate programs focus on. We have a bachelor in economics, we have a bachelor in governance and public policy, we have a bachelor in public management. All of these are about developing policies, implementing policies at the national, the state, and the local levels. But it's a top-down approach. So where does our diploma in social work fit into this, our ethos of nation building? For me, this is the misconception. Nation building is not only top-down. Nation building is more than anything else a bottom-up process. Yes, you need good policies at the top. Yes, you need those policies implemented. But who is it that implements those policies? Who is it that actually, at the end of the day, work towards bringing even the most vulnerable people into the fold of society? Making sure that even the most vulnerable people, the most at-risk people, actually can feel the benefit of those nation-building policies. At the very end of that spectrum, there's where the social workers are. The social workers work on the ground with the most vulnerable populations, the most at-risk populations, to make sure that nation building is not failed on them. So when you look at nation building in this broader spectrum, you realize why the Diploma of Social Work is actually part of a school for nation building. Because it is a nation building program. It might even be the most important part of the nation building process. This is why I am very happy to be doing this welcoming address on Heroes Among Us, because social workers generally, truly are nation building heroes. Thank you so much for coming today. I hope that you will enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you so much, Madam Jenny, for the very insightful welcoming speech and a little bit about, what inspired the school to do social work, to offer a social work program. So now let us watch the screening of Heroes Among Us, a video by Malaysian Association of Social Workers and UNICEF. I'll just explain a little bit about the video before we play it. Now, the video Heroes Among Us is a campaign to bring more awareness about the roles and the importance of social workers. Now, social workers are actually at the front line in supporting vulnerable children, families, and communities. So let us watch this video and understand the issues they face, as well as the impact they have on the people that they work with.
Hi, can you tell us why you do what you do?
Saya melakukan kerja sosial ini kerana minat dan juga passion saya dalam kerja sosial.
Over the 25 years, I have been applying my social work knowledge, skills and value to fulfill my roles and duty as a social worker.
Saya membesar bersama seorang ibu yang merupakan seorang pekerja sosial. Jadi saya melihat beliau menghabiskan banyak masanya memberikan tumpuan untuk membangunkan komuniti. Kami adalah pekerja sosial yang berkelayakan, bermaksud kami mempunyai diploma ataupun ijazah dalam melaksanakan tugas dan tanggungjawab kami. Dalam masa yang sama, kami memerlukan kemahiran tertentu dalam melaksanakan tugas-tugas kami. Di samping itu, kami juga perlu mematuhi pelbagai undang-undang serta dasar dalam melaksanakan tugas-tugas hakiki kami. Kami memberikan bantuan kepada semua tanpa mengira bangsa serta agama.
The cases we handle involve many aspects. So as a social worker, we need to play different roles.
Jika dilihat, isu penderaan dan pengabaian kanak-kanak meningkat setiap tahun. Di samping itu, isu masyarakat hilang keupayaan juga menjadi isu utama di negara kita juga. In realitinya, masyarakat boleh hilang keupayaan. Malah ianya memerlukan peranan pekerja sosial dalam membantu mereka mendapat kehidupan yang lebih baik.
In 2022, 1 in 7 school-going adolescents in Malaysia were physically attacked. That's an alarming number, and that's just not enough social workers in the country to prevent and address violence against children.
Well, social workers are not charity workers, not even volunteers. What we do create change into the peoples that we are serving. So if we do not employ enough qualified social workers to serve the most vulnerable, it will create negative impacts on our nation tremendously. Social worker needs legal recognition, support and investment so that we can deliver quality service to the most vulnerable in our society.
Walaupun berdepan pelbagai cabaran, kami sedia berkhidmat bagi mereka yang memerlukan.
Puan, boleh toleh ke belakang? Puan Intan has worked on many cases, including helping a woman who needed medical assistance as she fought cancer. Her support changed the life of the woman and her family. And that is why so many are thankful to Puan Intan and hopes she continues her good work. Andrew and his organization are helping Hua, who is undergoing kidney dialysis. She's receiving financial and food aid, guidance, as well as mental and emotional support. To Hua, Andrew and his team are like a rain in the desert, reducing the burden of her and her family. Ree was abandoned at her babysitter's without any proper documents. With no documents, she was unable to go to school. Today, Ree is now in school, receiving tuition, she's able to read and write, and she has a family to call her own. For Ree, Puan Raja Nurul is her savior. Social work is not just about solving problems. It's also about empowering individuals, creating a ripple effect that strengthens families, communities, and hence, generations. Social workers are the heart of our community. Let's support, appreciate, and recognize their life-changing value they bring to so many lives.
Meaningful video about what social workers face and how dedicated they are to the job. Now, without further ado, I would like to invite Datin Rodia Zakaria, Honorary Assistant Secretary of Malaysian Association of Social Workers, for a sharing session on her social work journey in Malaysia by live member. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Datin Rodia Zakaria graduated with a science degree in human development from University Pertanian Malaysia and a diploma in psychology and counselling from University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Now, she has served as a project manager in Alternative Childcare, UNICEF Social Welfare Department, and Bernard Van Leer Foundation from 1986 to 1988. She was also a medical social worker at the University of Malaya Medical Center since 1988 and has retired as a head of medical social work department in August 2020. Her experience include managing cases from various clinical departments, including pediatrics, obstetrics, gynecology, and many more, which also includes psychiatry, providing physiosocial support to patients and families. Now she is an exco of Malaysian School Work Association and holds the position of Honorary Assistant Secretary. Please join me in welcoming Datin Rodia Zakaria. Holding mic or?
I'll try this. Okay. Thank you, Grace, for the introduction. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning to to Miss Jenny, the Dean of Program for Tun Ahmad Sarji, Public Services, Unirazak. Okay, and also we have Jenny today. Miss Jenny from El Shaddai, okay, a social work practitioner. Friends or guests from which I can see face to face, and also those who are online. Okay, good morning to all of you. Okay, okay, I'm glad to be here this morning to share the history of social work in Malaysia. Yeah, okay, I'll be given half an hour to share the experience or the social work journey in Malaysia. And also, maybe I'll be sharing also some of my experience in managing cases over the years. Okay, so if we can have the slides, yeah, thank you. Oh, okay. Okay, the journey of professional social work in Malaysia. I'll be taking you from the 1940s until present, so it's going to be quite taking a lot of time. So it's like a time tunnel over this morning. Yeah, okay. Okay, first of all, I would like to share what is the global definition of social work. Okay, I was told that there's one social work students or who's here this morning. If there is there, can you identify yourself, the social work student, you know, so that we know, or she's not present physically, I suppose. Online, okay. So, okay, maybe I'll share you what is, because if he or she is around, would like to ask what is her definition or her idea on social work. Yeah, okay. So, but we have this here, global definition of social work by the International Federation of Social Work. Yeah, because social work, okay. So this is the agreement among all social workers in all over the world. So social work is a practice-based profession. It's a practice, yeah, okay, and an academic discipline that promotes social change and development, social cohesion, and empowerment and liberation of people. Principle of social justice, human rights, collective responsibility, and respect for diversities are central to social work. As we go along, then it can be quite, it can be quite complex when you see the definition, but as we go along, you know, we'll take you through this and we'll understand what is it all about. Yeah, okay. Okay, social work journey in Malaysia, some of you may not realize that it started in the 1946, yeah, where you know the history of Malaysia, yeah, where we were also once colonized by the British. So when they come here and they are aware of the social issues of the local people plus those who come and work here, yeah, okay. So the British colonial government issued a white paper on the Organisation of Colony Service, which is prerequisite to attain self-government public services localized. So this is in 1946 itself, yeah. Okay, and also during that time, that's when the establishment of Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat, yeah. Okay, but during that time, the is more on the support on the those who are focusing on more on the workers. Yeah, okay. So in 1950, after realizing that they need the British officers realized that there's a need to have a uh, local officers managing the cases or doing social work. So local officers was sent to the United Kingdom to attend courses in social work. So, and you may see, or some of you who's doing social policies may see that some of the social work acts, yeah, are relevant, more or less similar to the one that we have in the British, yeah, because the first officers or the first few officers that were sent to United Kingdom, yeah, okay. And 1952, during that time, Singapore and Malaysia were together. So, School of Applied Social Studies were established in University Malaya in Singapore. Okay, and so this is during the time that trained social workers were sent. You know, they were employed by Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat and sent to University Malaya in Singapore to do social work. And if you realize that those who sent to UK, United Kingdom, and to Singapore were the pioneers in social work in Malaysia, and they were also the backbones of the social workers, or those who were the thinker of social work program and social work policies in Malaysia. Yeah, so mereka adalah mendahului and champion for social work in Malaysia. Yeah, okay. So in 1952, there were also position of medical social workers, or we call it during that time almanas, were established in Malaysia 1952. When I read about the sejarah, the history, the first social worker in Gamma Hospital were in Batu Gajah Hospital. So if you can remember, there were mining workers who needed support, who needed social work intervention. So the first one was in 1952 in Batu Gajah Hospital. Yeah. Okay. And in 1954, Malaysian Association of Almanas were established. We call it MAA. Yeah, 1952. Okay. So now we go along to, okay. And in 1965, because at that time Malaysia already separated from Singapore, so the MAA will change to Malaysian Association of Medical Social Workers. And this Malaysia, why is it important for us to note it here, is that later on medical social workers and officers from Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat were the few officers who later create the Medical Social Work Association in Malaysia. Yeah, okay. And in 1969, Mr. S. Sokanathan was the first local social welfare officer promoted as the Director General of Social Welfare Services, yeah, in Malaysia. And this is also another important landmark in the country, is that Malaysian Association was formed in 1973. So consists of social workers from Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat and the hospital. Remember, MMA, MAM social workers together with officers from Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat. I hope you can follow me through this from the 1940s to the 1960s. Yeah, okay. And in 1974, MASW became a member of International Federation of Social Workers. So this is very important, so that besides doing the work locally, we are also following what the International Social Work Federation policy or issues all over the world. Yeah, okay. So in 1970s, Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat, because before this they were the services are more for financial assistance, yeah. Okay, but in the 1970s, Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat expanded their services to disaster management, yeah. Whenever they have disaster, also at the hospitals, drug rehabilitation. If maybe you are too young to remember, during that time, the 1970s, we had quite a number of social issues arising from the drug addicts. Yeah, it's not only from the drug addict himself or herself, but the problem will also, it cause issues also with the family. Yeah, okay. And also legal aid, yeah, school social work, community centers in selected flats, and foster parent schemes. Foster parent schemes are those for those children who maybe the parents are not able to look after them properly, or they are in danger if they are being looked after their own parents. Yeah, okay. So this is where the development, not only bantuan kebajikan, not only financial assistance, but they expanded their services to this the one that I've shared with you. And I'm glad to say that in 1975, USM became the first public university to offer social work program in Malaysia. So I'll be sharing you the other universities that have such program, and we hope later on Unirazak also we have. I understand that from Miss Jenny that there's social work program in Unirazak. Yeah, okay. And 1996, Medical Social Work Association were established. This is, I'm also a member of this, being a medical social worker in a hospital. Okay. Okay, and when we do our work, yeah, as a social worker, it is very, very important for us to have ethics, yeah, because we are among the profession who is close to our clients. Okay, why I'm saying this, let's say I'm managing a case of domestic violence, or a case of unmarried mother, or a case of child being sexually abused by the father. Yeah, okay. So they will be, with the skills of the social worker, she or he will be pouring, will be ventilating, will be sharing whatever traumatic experience that they go through. Yeah, so it is very important for us as a social worker to remember our ethics. Yeah, I'm just sharing you with one of the ethics, that is confidentiality. Yeah, so this is very important for us as a social worker to have ethics. This is where Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat and MSW developed an updated codes of ethics through the years from 1980 to 2011. Yeah, and besides looking at the ethics in the local context, we also had followed the international Federation of Social Work Ethics. Yeah, so it is quite important here. Yeah, okay. In 1985, Department of Social Welfare have established training institute at Kuala Kubu Baru. I remember going there as a young officer, getting my training there. And now they have one Institute Social Malaysia in Jalan Sungai Besi. Also, they are offering courses for Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat officers plus NGOs as well. And quite a number of courses, they work together with the MASW. And quite sadly that from the 1980s to the 1990s, quite a number of non-social work graduates were hired in Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat and hospitals. Yeah, so over that period of time. Yeah, and also the numbers of social workers were reduced. Yeah, I will share with you the data on the number of social workers as compared to the other countries. Okay, in 1990s, a national committee formulated on national social welfare policy. So this is a very important paper, yeah, for social workers, and in line with the Vision 2020, more universities offered social work courses. And in 20 National Joint Consultative Committee on Social Work Education were formed in 2000, where several universities joined and to look into the program, to look into the program so that it can be more solid and useful and uniform to all universities in Malaysia. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is in 2004, where a national survey on social work practice among social service practitioners in government and non-government organizations in Malaysia were done, yeah, in collaboration with the Department of Social Welfare. So we did a survey. I was in the already in MSW during that time. So we conducted a survey, and it was found that less than 10% of the social workers during that time were social work trained. Yeah, so that means let's say we have 1,000, so only 100 were social work trained during that time. Yeah, and in 2004 until 2008, also together with Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat and also with the help of UNICEF, training of professional accountant practice accountable practice were developed over the years with the help of Dr. Pauline Mimidoma, a consultant from Australia, social work consultant from Australia, and were developed, and also training of trainers were done, and also training of the social welfare officers and also other social worker from NGO were conducted during that time. So this is very important, and as you know that only 10% of social workers are social work trained, yeah, okay. So in 2006, MSW submitted Memorandum of National Competency Standards to Ministry of Welfare, Ministry of Welfare, Ministry of Women, Family and Community Services, and Ministry of Higher Education, because we have social worker at both ministry. So we submitted a memorandum, and in 2010, this is also another important milestone for social work history in Malaysia, that Cabinet endorsed the 6-point memorandum in Malaysia. This is where we started to say the importance of the bill, to have the bill in Malaysia. Yeah, okay. So what are the 6-point memorandum? Okay, enhancing professionalism in social work. The first one is National Social Work Competency Standard. So if you, let's say, if you go to from one social welfare office or social welfare department to another social welfare department, you'll get the same standard of services, not, yeah, or in from one NGO to another. This is very, very important, yeah, okay. The enactment of social workers bill, yeah, establishment of National Regulatory Council, okay, recruitment of qualified social workers. Yeah, remember that we had only 10%, so we have to keep on saying that we need to have a qualified social workers. Standardization of social work education program to all the universities, and development of social work course at certificate and diploma level. So I think Unirazak will be one of those. Yes, okay. Okay, these are all the universities that offer social work course. First one, USM, UNIMAS, Universiti Utara, UPM, Universiti Malaysia Sabah, UKM, UNIZA, the youngest one, and we have Lincoln University, Methodist College, Methodist Pilih, and Unirazak. Yeah, this is offering diploma, degree, and master's level, and some offer PhD also as well. Yeah, okay. So the current situation, maybe I've taken you from 1940s until now. So the current situation of social work in Malaysia, okay. So where are the social workers in Malaysia? So they are in the government agencies like Department of Social Welfare, hospitals. There are about 300 plus medical social worker in a government hospital, yeah, okay, at present. Perkeso, prison, and LPPKN. And in the NGO sectors, they are service oriented, like I'm sure you all know Women's Aid Organization that deals a lot with domestic violence. Yeah, so there are also social workers there. Faith-based organization, professional bodies, and advocacy and policy. So this is where our social workers are at the moment. Okay, roles of social worker, co-build partnership. We do a lot of networking, partnership, social and environmental protection. We can have a course on this, yeah, yeah. Okay, promote opportunities. This is where the linkage is very important, yeah. Okay, ensure rights are met, the rights of a child, the rights of elderly, the rights of handicapped, yeah. Ensure no one is left behind, okay. Strengthen capacity, combat complex and intersecting crises, connectors and counselors. Yeah. So not only it is a complex, it is multidisciplinary approach. Yeah, and also, and yeah, okay. Okay, what are our target groups? They are the victim of domestic violence. Yeah. Okay, neglected, abused, exploited, and trafficked children, persons with disabilities, former drug users, and individuals in conflict with the law, older person, refugees, migrants, stateless, and undocumented. So we have social workers at UNHCR, for example, and at-risk and vulnerable person, families and communities. So these are our target group. Yeah, and when we are saying, let's say, a victim of domestic violence, we don't only, as a social worker, especially trained one, we don't only deal with the victim, but we also deal with the children, especially with the family members, especially the children. Yeah, sometimes we may focus, or the victim may focus on she herself being abused by the spouse, for example, for many years. Then when over time, when we the report is built and we ask what's happening to the children, is there any issues, any trauma, any effect of the abuse towards of the spousal abuse to the children, so this is where we make them aware that this conflict won't stop there, and also it will be remembered by the child or children who witness the abuse. So this is where very important for us to have a trained social worker, not only to deal with the victim, but to deal with the family members as well. Yeah, okay. I'm taking one of the example. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is where the data, we don't have data for social work trained who are working in Malaysia, but from Mampu Malaysian, Mampu, we have data from Malaysia that the ratio for Malaysia is 1 to 8,576 clients. Yeah, in Singapore, our next door neighbor, 1 into 3,448, UK 1 to 3,000, Australia 1 to 1,040, and US is 1,000 to 490. And it is very important for us to know that when we handle a case, it's not like touch and go. You see the case today and that's it. Tomorrow they are okay. So it will be follow-ups after follow-ups and follow-ups. But if we keep on having the high caseload, that's where the social workers will be burnt out, and also the cases won't be managed properly. Yeah, so this is very important if we have a low ratio of ratio social work to clients. So this is very important, because I remember that I'm working in a hospital. I used to work with cancer patient. You either, because they will be getting active treatment in hospital for 2 years. So this is where our intervention, especially the first 6 months, but if we keep on having new patients, sometimes we tend to overlook to whatever issues that are pertaining to the clients, facing during when they are not well. Okay, so this is very important to have a low ratio. I was told by a colleague of mine that she went to do placement or placement at one of the hospital in United Kingdom, that there is one social worker to one medical ward, and for us we have one social worker in 6 medical wards. So in a way it can be quite difficult for the social worker to manage the cases. Yeah, okay. Okay, so what are the challenges that we face? Is limited public understanding of social work. Yeah. So when you say that, what do you do? I'm a social worker. Okay, is financial assistance, is charity, like Mr. Andrew who mentioned in the video just now. Is charity is one of. So this is mainly the understanding of a public on social work. Lack of regulation, it is very important, because there are many issues pertaining to social work, pertaining to a client, so we need to have regulations. Yeah, and also shortage of social workers in Malaysia. Remember that we have 10 universities offering social work course. It's not that Malaysia is not producing enough social worker, but whether the social workers are trained and to work in the government or the NGO sector. Yeah, okay. Okay, strengthening social work in Malaysia. So what do we do? So this is one of the campaign that we work in Malaysia with UNICEF. I think you have seen the video just now. So this is in cooperation with UNICEF Malaysia. We have one year program. If you can see that there's two hands. So as a social worker, we always offer our hands to our clients, but at the same time, they are, when we have the pandemic earlier on, we said that frontliners. So as for your mention, social workers are also frontliners during the pandemic. Yeah. So what do public or what do the clients give in return also to help also to the social workers? Yeah. So this is our tagline. And hashtag change the story, change life. Yeah, tukar narrative, tukar kehidupan. I hope you tag after this, after our session, you please, those who are present here or online, please tag this. Yeah, okay. Then you can see also in YouTube. Yeah, okay. If you know that, I'm not sure whether it is okay. Before the, if you know that the three social workers that were shown in the video, Raja Nur Roshi is a child protector gazetted by the Akta Kanak-Kanak. She works with children who's being abused. Yes. And Andrew is a social worker, co-founder of his team. He works with NGO. He works not only in Malaysia but abroad. And also Puan Intan, she's a medical social worker. So these are some of the example of social worker who has given their service. Yeah. So now their service in Malaysia. Yeah. Okay. So what about MASW? Because I've been talking about Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat involvement together with MASW. So MSW is the only professional association for social workers, comprising of social work educators and practitioners. So we have been here for 50 years. So we celebrated our 50th anniversary. So anniversary in last March, yeah. Okay. And the first professional body of social workers was in 1955 by the British Almanas, the Malayan Association of Social Workers. Yeah. So we are registered with Registrar of Society and affiliate members of International Federation, and also Professional Center for Balai Ikhtisas Malaysia. So maybe you are we have this Balai Ikhtisas Malaysia where they are the main body for all the professional bodies. So we have doctors, we have pharmacists, we have engineers under Balai Ikhtisas Malaysia, and MSW also is affiliated to Balai Ikhtisas Malaysia. Yeah, and we are also associate on the Commonwealth Organization of Social Workers, and also okay, so Commonwealth is Commonwealth Organization of Social Workers. Okay. So our vision is to establish professional competency in social work practice, education and research. Yeah, so we do a lot of training, do a lot of research. Yeah, and mission to be an active advocate for professional competency in social work practice, education and research, whether it's children, elderly, those who are vulnerable will be our target group. Yeah, okay. Provide professional consultation on social work practice, education and research, be an effective resource of professional support to its members, and participate dynamically in networking with government and non-government agencies locally and internationally for professional competency in all areas of social work. So those students have become who are students, you can be a member of social work. Yeah, we have student members. Yeah, okay. So please get in touch with Encik Iqbal to be member. Yeah, okay. Okay, so making social work visible, as you have seen in the video just now, it is a 1-year project. What is the mission? Yeah, is to collective support the call to strengthen social service workforce, to advocate for professionalism of social workers, and to advocate for social work professional bill. Yeah, so it is very important for us to have the bill. We have been working it for, I think, from 2010 when the cabinet approved the memorandum. So it is very, very important. For your information, our next door like Thailand, Philippines, they have either the regulation or the ACTA, the Act for the Social Workers Professional Bill. Yeah, for social workers. Okay, so we hope that you will support. Okay. Okay, why is it important for public to raise awareness on rights of beneficiaries, recognize professional, as a client to any service in the government, they should be given a professional service. You take for example, yeah, I was thinking of an example. Okay, let's say a child who's been born out of wedlock. So if she goes to somebody in the community or a friend, look, I have a child, this child is born in one of the hospital, so what do I do with it, you know? So as the social worker, we have to do assessment of biopsychosocial of the mother and her family. Okay, and also we have to give support to the mother, because she may, the boyfriend or the putative father may have left her. Yeah. So what does she want to do with her life after that? She wants to work. She wants to continue her studies. She wants to. What does she want to do with her life? And what is her intention? What does she want to do with the baby? If she wants to give up the baby, why? If she wants to keep the baby, why and how? So these are all the questions that a professional social worker will ask the client to do. And let's say, and also we as a social worker, we must make sure that the baby born has to be registered, because many of us here in Malaysia said, oh, kalau anak luar nikah tak boleh daftar. If the child, they have this understanding that if a child is being born out of wedlock, they cannot be registered. So what happened 7 years from now, when she wants to register her child in school, 5 years like, because now you get to get register a child to go to school 5 years. So without the birth certificate, then the child cannot enter school. So there'll be a lot of very difficult task for the mother to get the child registered and also to get the child in school, and 20 years from now. So if the child have no birth cert, then the public or the authority will say that, oh, you are pendatang haram. So these are the things that I think you have seen sometime in the newspaper, that they say that the child is being unable to go to school. This is where, when the child is born in hospital or in anywhere, that if a social worker come, and I mean, if the case is being managed by a professional social worker, these things, I mean, there'll be less and less problem for the child and for the mother. And if it's the right for the mother, whether she wants to give up the child for the adoption, it has to be done according to the Acta Adoption Act. So this is why, as a public, you have to know that you have to get a professional social workers helping you, managing you throughout the years. Yeah. Okay. So, and also recognize professional social workers and meet professional standards. Yeah. So because as a social worker, we are aware of the whatever social policies, Acta, peraturan, regulations that related to each and every subject, let's say domestic violence. So we are aware on that, and also the legal implication of whatever the cases that we are managing. So it is very, very important for the public to know about this. Yeah. Okay. Contohlah, kalau kita pergi, when we go to the clinic, either we are being seen by a doctor or I'm not saying or any traditional medicine man. So this is very a different approach and different service that you get. Yeah. Okay. For the social workers, as a social worker, because it's not, I must say that it's not a 9 to 5 job. Yeah. It is 27. It is a 24 hours a day. Oh yeah. Okay, so they need to have the professionalism, the recognition, training, we need to have training, ongoing training, remuneration and career pathway. Yeah, so this is very important for them to be able to give a professional service. Yeah, okay. And why is the bill so important? Social work is in line with professional and international standards. Yeah. So social workers educated in the value knowledge, skills to provide quality social work to prevent and respond effectively, timely, and to vulnerable individuals and group at risk. Yeah. So we some cases we need to attend immediately. You know, you drop other cases and you attend it immediately. I can see Miss Jenny is smiling because she knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay. Invest in qualified, competent workforce to deliver quality services from the government agencies, NGO, and other organizations. Regulate the quality and competency in workforce in government agencies, NGOs, and other organizations. It is as a social worker we work, I mean our networking is so very important. You know, I've worked with hospital, and without the support on social from the social worker, from NGOs, we are it is very difficult for us to manage the case. Yeah, okay. Okay, so as a student, either you are here or online, so what do we want to do is to understand what is social work, yeah, to advocate through social media, from the survey. If you are attending online also, please do please complete the survey form, yeah, and also speak to peers, families, and communities, and also promote social work. I remember my neighbor many years ago when they know that I'm a social worker, and they know that one of my neighbor's daughter, her colleague, uh, she's aware that the one of the daughter delivered the child out of wedlock in a private hospital, but and they do not know what to do, and they came to my house at night and to ask what do we do with the baby, what do we do with the child, because they said that beranak out of wedlock adalah kesalahan. Yeah, you know, so they are scared that the police come and take the daughter and the baby, newborn baby, you know. So this is somehow the public conception. So this is where neighbors also and friends also need to know, so that they can be helped. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I think this is going to be the last slide. So I hope you can promote social work, yeah, and also I hope I've take you through the history, so that from the 1940s to now, and also Miss Jenny will enrich you more with her experience in managing the cases. Okay, if there any question from those online or those who are present. Ada soalan? No online. Okay, so if you have any questions, we can ask later. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Datin, for that wonderful sharing, and also bringing us to a journey where you explain how social work started in Malaysia. So, without further ado, I would like to invite Madam Jenny Maria and Datin Rodia to give a corporate gift on behalf, a token of appreciation. Thank you so much. I would also like to give a shout out to those online. I know there are very few live over here, but online we have about 30 over students and people who are watching. So some of them have commented. So shout out to Nazmi, Nazirul, Andy, Raj, Sasi, also Maurice Momo from Sierra Leone Association of Social Workers. Nur Izzati, thank you for sharing your thought. And Faizah Abdullah from Institute Social Malaysia, ISM. So thank you so much for tuning in, and they are commenting on the chat box. Okay, now we shall have a little break for some refreshment for about 15 minutes. and then we will come back to continue with our second guest speaker. Okay, so it's 10:20 now, so we will try to come back at 10:35. Okay, all right. Please join some refreshments. Those who are watching live, please grab your Okay, thank you everyone and welcome back. I hope you had a good refreshment and feel refreshed. So I just want to continue some shout out online because we're getting a lot of interaction online. So Santos Bukara, good morning from ISM. Sumanja, we had a little break, that's why you saw nothing. So we are starting back right now. Um, oh, Datin, you also commented. I'm back to work. Okay. All right. And Zain says hi. Nor Izati also says hi. Please continue the interaction. Please continue commenting. I will try to read them out as much as I can. And we are just so happy to have everyone. We will continue with the next sharing session by our next guest speaker, who is a graduate master in social work in Taiwan for 10 years. She has 10 years of ground experience in Taiwan, Singapore, and Malaysia. Previously, she was an accountancy graduate with ACCA qualification and was involved largely in business development and entrepreneurship for more than 10 years. Currently, she works as a social work director of El Shaddai Center. She has been working with refugees and stateless populations for about 5 years. Her motto in life is to be a missional social worker with great passion and enthusiasm. So I would like to invite Ms. Jenny Pui, Social Work Director from El Shaddai Berhad, for the next sharing session of social work practitioner working with refugee and stateless community in Malaysia through a sustainable social work approach. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Jenny.
One second. Actually, I feel like to use the cordless, but it's okay. It's okay. Oh, okay. That's good.
Testing it.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So I have 30 to 40 minutes around it. I will try to make it as fast as possible. Okay. Good morning again to everyone of you here, and Miss Jenny and Datin. It's my pleasure to be here together with all of you. And thank you so much for Grace for the introduction. As I commented just now to her, I really like her voice because I thought I wish I can have that voice of you. Okay. Yeah. Good morning. So today it's my honor to be invited by Iqbal to be here at Unirazak to share with all of you about the work that I'm doing and also about my social work path. So I told myself this morning, I got 2 goals to achieve today. One is to promote about the social work. Okay, what is so great about social work? What is the professionalism of social work? And the second goal is to introduce to you about our work among the refugee and stateless community, which is actually, I would say now, is a very prevalent issue in Malaysia. So I hope to create a higher awareness to all of you about the refugee and stateless community here in Malaysia. Okay. So, yeah, my name is Jenny. So coincidentally, we have 2 Jenny here. Okay. So, yeah, I'm currently the social work director of El Shaddai Center Berhad. Okay. Now, just to have a little bit interaction with all of you, what do you know about refugee and stateless? Anyone? Just shout out. Undocumented, okay? Undocumented. I'm not sure anyone in the online, so it's okay. So undocumented. One more answer. Okay, so those who are fleeing from their country. Yes, okay, thank you, Iqbal. Okay, so I started with my presentation, on this question because I wanted to bring up the very prominent social issue currently in Malaysian society. So I want to give a little bit background of what are the current situation of the refugee and stateless population in Malaysia. So you can see on the screen, as of January 2023, there are about 83,000 plus refugee and asylum seeker registered with United Nations High Commissioner of Refugee in Malaysia. So this is the official figure. And we believe there is another at least 50,000 of them who are under the waiting list to be interviewed and officially recognized as a refugee in Malaysia, which means the total number would be about 230,000 plus in Malaysia. Okay, so this is for the refugee population. And at the same time, there are an estimated 3.5 million economic migrant workers in Malaysia. Okay, and then another figure is the official estimation of stateless community in Sabah especially is about 1.5 million. Okay, I believe all of us do understand there are a lot of, there are two figures. One is the official figures and one is the so-called maybe the black figures, right? So the 3.5 is the legal economic migrant worker with valid working visa. And we believe there are a big group of so-called undocumented people, which means their work visa is already expired or even their the passport already become invalid. So that number itself, we also believe there is at least 2 to 2.5 million of population in Malaysia. And the official number of the stateless group in Sabah, which is mainly the Filipino, the generation from Filipinos, and that is 1.5 million official number. But the local Sabahan told us it could be easily like double up. So which means another 1.5 million is not really captured. Okay, so follow me, like if we add up all these numbers, 230,000 of refugee, 3.5 million of economic migrant workers, another maybe 2.5 undocumented, and then we have 1.5 million official number. Just add on another 0.5, become 2 million. So what would be the total number look like? 3.5 plus 2.5 plus another 2, which is 8 million. Okay, so that means easily we can say a very prudent figure, maybe 7 million, 6 million also okay. So what is the total population of Chinese or Indian in Malaysia? Okay, so it's about that figure, which means this group of foreign immigrants in our land is like easily hit 6 to 7 million, which is also almost 25% of our total population in Malaysia. So that is equivalent to the Chinese and Indian population in the whole Malaysia. And that means this is a very, very big group of people who are currently living at our like next door, you know, at our doorstep, and they are experiencing a lot of challenges and issues in their life living in Malaysia. Okay, so this is a very important figure which I want to bring up to all of you. Okay, so a quick definition of what is refugee. Of course, like just now, Iqbal mentioned, so it's anyone that's fleeing from the country because of war or because of any sort of persecution that they are forced to flee the country and to seek protection in another safe environment or in another safe country. Okay, and globally, 89.3 million of people are forcibly displaced worldwide. So, and this is the number of end 2021. So I believe as of now, this number have already shot up because of the current conflict in between Ukraine and Palestinian. Sorry, Israel and Palestinian. So I believe this is, it could be easily maybe over 100 million. And another figure is the estimated 36.5 million out of the 89 million are children below 18 years old. So this is a huge population that need our attention, okay? As a social worker, we are not only looking at the local situation, but we also need to have like a higher vision of how all these social issues related to the global crisis or incident that is happening. So that is why I want to introduce about who are refugees and stateless and what are the issues. Okay. Now, so what challenges and issues faced by them. Because Malaysian government is not one of the signatory of 1951 Refugee Convention. So because of that, Malaysia doesn't have any legal or administrative framework to manage or to address the issue of this refugee population. So the refugee and the stateless, of course, included, they are facing all these challenges, including they don't have the legal rights to work, they don't have access to public education, and also, of course, public health care. And with that said, the welfare and other social issues, they are not like protected directly by the JKM. Okay, so all the issue of child protection or sexual and gender-based violence are something that is happening among them, but they are not really protected by any government agency, strictly speaking. Okay, and of course we can see the exploitation, especially at workplace, because they are not given any legal rights to work, so they are easily exploited by the employers. I believe maybe a lot of us like hearing about the story. They have to work for long hours. They are not like being well paid, or even their salary or their wages are being delayed. They're not giving their pay on time or not being paid at all. Okay, so the exploitation is easily happening, and then they have no rights, or even they are not there to fight against the employers, because the refugee and stateless, they understand they don't allowed to work legally or publicly in Malaysia. So you can understand how voiceless and also how helpless they are whenever they are in certain situation that is exploited by their employers. Okay, so of course, generally a lot of stereotype and stigma on them, thinking that they are refugee, they are stateless, they are foreigners, and then I believe generally we will categorize them all under the group of migrant workers. So as long as we see foreign faces, we think these are migrant workers. And we might not really think of who are refugee, who are stateless, and who are undocumented. And among them, there are a lot of differences. There are so many different nationalities and then different cultures. Okay, so this is a big group that is like kind of left behind. And we don't really zoom in to see their specific needs, because largely we haven't really come to that stage of focusing on them and addressing their social issue. Okay, and last one is unforeseeable future. Without any legal identity, refugee, or even though they do have a refugee status, then the stateless community, they don't have any legal or valid identity or nationality. And the third one is the undocumented. Of course, this is like a hidden group that cannot be seen. Okay, so with that said, how are they going to plan for their future? Okay, if I'm a stateless person, how can I plan for what is coming for the next 3 years or 5 years or 10 years? Because I can't even gain a legal identity, and then how can I expose myself? So the unforeseeable future is something very, very prominent to this group of people who are currently living in our country. And they can't really plan. And because of that, our case management and our work with this group of people need to be even more complicated and complex. And we have to really journey with them. And on top of the case management, we also have to look at the community and the ecosystem that they are in. So I will explain later how do we do that. Yeah? Okay. So that just now I was saying about the general group of refugees and stateless community. So if let's say we zoom in now to this population, we can see among this group of people, there are a lot of children, there are a lot of vulnerable women, and we also have elderly people among them. And another big group is mental health challenge and people with disability. the resources to support this group of people is already very lacking. So if let's say we really focus on the specific group within this large community, there are a lot of niche issue or specific issue that really require our specific attention. But because of the lacking of the resources, this becomes even more complicated. We are having a lot of challenges in managing the mental health needs and also people with disability among the refugee and settlers. Because at least for Malaysian, we can go to government hospital, we can also go to if we have the financial capacity. But for the refugee and settlers, first, financial capacity is the biggest issue. Second, they are not there to go to all these public or even private services because first, the issue is exploitation. They will be treated in a very impolite way or maybe unfriendly way. And second, some of the stateless community, they're not there to expose themselves. They cannot expose themselves. So that's why even though they are sick, even though they are having a lot of issue with their health, they're not there to go and seek treatment because they cannot expose themselves. So we have a lot of like abuse cases happening at home, for example, on children or even like on wives. They're also not there to report or take any action because they have this even fundamental issue of their identity problem. And that makes the whole things more complicated. Okay. Now, okay, so the reason why I want to explain about the refugee and stateless, the current situation of the refugee and stateless community in Malaysia, because it relates to my social work story. Okay, I was, oh, okay, this is a bit, sorry, I just skip. Okay. I don't really like actually to put my own picture on there, but I just find, okay, I have to put something. I wanted to put my cat actually initially, but this photo is not showing. There is my cat on the slide actually. Okay, anyway, just now as Grace introduced, I was graduate with accountancy qualification and ACCA, but I do not really practice that profession because after I studied, I realized this is not for me. But anyhow, I tried to like manage it through and then I graduated. Okay. So after my graduation, I was like actively involving in business development and entrepreneurship. So for more than 10 years. And I gained a lot of experience in doing marketing, business development, and also entrepreneurship. Okay, so in the year of 2012, I have been working for like more than 10 years and I was reflecting, what is the purpose of my life? Am I going to continue working as a corporate person, and every day work like 8 to 7 or even sometimes 9 or 10. Sometimes my work also I have to work on weekends because if let's say we have roadshow, so we have anything that is, we need to do more public engagement and I have to go out. So I was like asking myself why I want to continue on. Do I really want to continue on like this and why? And that is the point at 2012, I decided to make a big change in my life. And I jumped into the sector of social work. Okay. The reason why I do this is, of course, seeking the higher purpose of my life is one of the main motivation. And I also asking, what can I do to contribute to build a better society, as what just now Ms. Jenny also mentioned. Building the nation and also responding to a lot of the situation of the society is something that really drawn to me. And that is why I introduced about the issue of refugee and stateless. I decided to come back to Malaysia after my 1-week visit to El Shaddai Center. And I come to visit the center and I understand the situation how prominent is the issue of the refugee and stateless community in Malaysia. And that is why I decided to leave my work in Singapore at that point of time and come back to Malaysia to join El Shaddai. So my decision to change from accountancy or the business background to social sector is really because I was drawn with a lot of social issue that is happening at that point of time, of course, as of now. And I wanted to create a greater impact and also to achieve a higher purpose or value in my life. And that's why in 2013, I decided to go for social work, to pursue social work in Taiwan. And I spent a good 4 years in Taiwan to expose myself to the social work environment in Taiwan and also the professional education over in Taiwan. Yeah, my earliest slide actually is to mention about why social work. The reason why I choose social work, just now I think our friend from Yayasan Chowkit asked me, and Iqbal also asked me. I was at that point of time trying to make a decision. Okay, which helping profession should I join? I'm very sure that I want to become a helper, but which profession? At that point in time, and I believe even as of now, a lot of us are very familiar with counselor, psychologists, psychiatrists, right? So these are the common options. But I was thinking, okay, am I going to join? Am I going to go and study counseling? I can, I think, because I like to interact with people. I like to listen to people. But at that point in time, there is one very key person, which is Dr. Teo, our current president, MSW president. And I make up a call to him. I seek his advice. Should I join counseling or should I go for social work? And he gave me a very simple yet straightforward question, like, let me think about it. He asked me, are you a person that you want to sit in a room and waiting for people to come to you and tell you their story or seek your advice or counseling? Or you are the type that you want to go out to the community to interact with people, to understand the situation on the ground or maybe in the family, and also want to advocate for a greater changes. That gives me a very, very good guideline, simple yet straightforward and yet very straightforward guideline for me to decide whether social work is a good choice for me or counseling. So I'm very sure I'm those type, like going out to the community, take active action to engage the people and proactively involving in advocacy or maybe any social action that can create greater change. So with that, maybe I think only 10 minutes call, I make my decision, I want to go for social work and no more counseling, bye-bye. And I just choose my path to go to Taiwan and then study the social work. And just now I also share with our colleague, once I stepped in Taiwan, I started my study. I'm very sure this is the right path for me. So I want to shout out to all the maybe online participants. I think maybe we have one potential social work student, am I right? Here. Yeah. Maybe that my experience could be sharing to you also as a reference for you to choose, like, which path is the right path for you and what are you looking forward in this social work journey. Okay. So 2017, I graduated with my master in social work. I spent 4 years study, doing my internship in 3 different NGO. And of course, I also did my thesis. Actually, is an overseas study. I interned in one of the Taiwan NGO, but then at the same time, I also went for an overseas, which is their branch in Vietnam. And I do my internship there, I think about 5 months, and also like doing my thesis. So I spent a good 4 years in Taiwan, and that is really a ground that to groom me and shape me to become the current social worker. Taiwan have a very, very extensive experience in the groundwork. Their grassroots organization is so powerful, and that is really inspiring me to become who I am today, the current social worker. Okay, and 2017, I graduated and I went to Singapore for a year. I was a social worker with one of their community, the family service center in the community, and I was involved in a semi-government project called Home Ownership Project. That project is aiming to help all the local Singaporeans to own their house, like individually, or based on the family needs. So that is also a very good experience. But at that point in time, my question to myself is that the things that I want to do? Because my original call to become a social worker is to work with people at the marginalized level. But in Singapore, because it's a developed country, of course, their issue is different. They look at a lot of inequality issue, and and then they also like seek a lot more fairness and justice in the society. But eventually, when I came to know El Shaddai, I visited El Shaddai, I get to know the work of El Shaddai among the refugees and settlers. And as I said, 1 week visit, I decided to make the change and come back to Malaysia, and I joined El Shaddai until now. Okay, so as of today, I still think I choose the right path to become a social worker, and I hold strong to the value and the impact that a social worker can create in the people that we are working with. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce about our organization and the work that we are doing. So our organization name is El Shaddai Center Berhad, and we work mainly with the refugee and stateless community in Malaysia. We are officially registered in 2018 and as a faith-based organization, and we have a vision of reaching out to all the displaced and marginalized immigrant communities in Malaysia. So we are one of the implementing partner of UNHCR. We work closely with them, and we also work with some embassies, including Philippines and also Indonesia embassy. Okay, so now I have a video to play.
Social work, vocational learning, we believe that everyone is given the opportunity and live a fulfilling life. El Shaddai Center educates children and youth, helping them gain the skills and knowledge needed to succeed. Our preschool education program provides nurturing and safe environment for children to learn, while our primary education program focuses on developing literacy, numeracy, and critical thinking skills. Our secondary education program prepares students for higher education and the workforce. On top of that, we also run an accelerated learning program to help students catch up on missed schooling, especially for children who enter school at 10 years old and above. El Shaddai Center provides comprehensive social work services through 4 main programs.
We provide support for immediate financial difficulties, safety and protection, and also community empowerment and development. We also see the importance of educating the community with more knowledge and right information in guiding them to make a better choices and decisions. We play an active role in partnering with various agencies to advocate for greater changes through policies and structural reform.
El Shaddai Center's vocational learning program helps individuals develop skills to pursue their chosen careers. The program offers tailored vocational courses, and hands-on training to prepare individuals for a brighter future. The goal is to empower individuals to build fulfilling careers and contribute to their communities. We also provide healthcare services to the community. Our healthcare program offers medical care and assistance to those in need, ensuring everyone can access essential health services.
Thank you for your interest in the work of El Shaddai Center. Your partnership and support is crucial for us to make a difference in the lives of the people we serve. Together, we can have a positive impact to our communities.
Okay, so that is the introduction of our organization El Shaddai, and we are providing 4 main services to the community. But our vision is to see nations redeemed through holistic community transformation. And our vision, our mission is to intentionally engage and empower nations at our doorstep through a holistic, integral approach. So as I mentioned, we provide 4 main services to the refugee and stateless community. Our major part is education, and then we also do vocational learning. We provide social work services and support. And lastly, we also provide this healthcare service to the community. And today, because we are talking about social work, so I will just zoom into our social work services that we do under El Shaddai. Okay, you can see from this slide, we have 3 main scope of the work that we are doing. We have relief, we have intervention, and we also do development. And these 3 major scope is built on the foundation of meaningful, purposeful, and sustainable initiative. Whatever work that we started and we designed in relevant to the needs and the issue that faced by the refugee and the stateless community, we want to ensure the initiative is sustainable. We don't want to do like only one-off event or maybe one-off relief. So beside the immediate needs of the community, we also want to look into how do we intervene in some of the issues that they are facing. And from there, we also want to link to a long-term development of the community people. So you can see from the slide,
my
there
name
are
is
4
Iqbal.
major that we provide livelihood support, we have safety and protection, we do community development, and lastly, we also do community advocate and education. Okay, so the first one, in terms of the emergency relief, we provide provision and also cash-based assistance, including loan program to the refugee or the stateless community who are facing any immediate financial issue in their family. We recognize the importance of having this emergency relief because we understand there are a lot of situations which is out of the control of the people. So that's why whenever there are people who are sick at home, maybe there are unexpected emergency happening, including maybe accident or maybe the breadwinner was unwell, and that created a lot of financial constraint in the family. And because a lot of function, the normal function of a family is not properly carried out. For example, the children cannot go to school, and then maybe there is like not enough food at home, and a lot of outstanding maybe renters or electricity bill, all these. So because of that, we recognize the importance of having this emergency relief action to respond to the immediate needs. And secondly, we do safe placement under shelter and also community placement. We encounter a lot of like child abuse cases or domestic violence cases, and we have to respond immediately to the situation by rescuing the victims out from their whatever situation that they are in, and then place them in a safe accommodation. And with that, we will carry out the necessary intervention, including responding to their immediate, maybe physical or emotional abuse. And also at the same time, as just now Datin mentioned, we also work closely with their family because eventually we want to achieve reconciliation and family unification. So this safe placement project is one of the key projects that we are working together closely with UNHCR. And at the same time, we also partner with a lot of other NGO or maybe like the community-based organization to ensure whatever that we do is not only focusing on the victim, but also at the family and building up the community to support the family better. Okay, we do a lot of high-risk case management. We go into the community as we identify some of the cases having high-risk issue, for example, potential child abuse, potential domestic violence cases, or maybe the children or the wife are at the edge of facing the difficulties in the family. So we go into the community and then we work together with the people in the community, which means we work with the refugee and also the stateless people themselves to respond to the situation in the family. Okay. And in terms of development, we do a lot of community empowerment programs. We have sports program. We have also English teaching program. The main reason is to empower the refugee themselves to have more confidence with themselves and to build their self-reliance. And with that said, they can also be part of the team in responding to the needs of the community themselves. That is how they contribute back to their own community. And also at the same time, they can be empowered and also be more confident that actually they can do something impactful here, even though they are like transiting in Malaysia. We also do a lot of community-based development projects. For example, we partner with some of the refugee community centers. We have Afghan Youth Center in Ampang. We also have Indonesian Community Center in Klang. And we also partnering with a lot of learning centers to provide education for the refugee and the stateless community. Lastly, we do a lot of wellness programs and so this wellness program, it covers, for example, topics like sex education, self-developmental programs, social emotional learning, and also a lot of self-exploratory programs. This program is mainly designed to cater to the needs of our school students. And also now next year, we are coming to we have this plan to go to the community and design it to cater to the needs of the adult in the community. We also educate the refugee community or the stateless community to understand what are the basic rights that they have. And with that, they can also learn how to voice out for themselves, how to advocate for some of the protection rights that they have. So we do advocacy at the individual level and also at the community level. Okay, so this is the overview of the work that we have under the social work scope of El Shaddai. Okay. Okay. Another part I want to highlight is whatever that we do under the El Shaddai social work arm, we are looking at promoting holistic personhood, holistic community, and holistic ecosystem. Because we believe individual is closely related to the family and the community. So whatever a person do in the environment that they are in is actually directly affecting them. So beside empowering the person to be more confident, to be more self-reliant, we also want to empower the community to build up a stronger support system for this individual and family to function even more effectively. And lastly, the ecosystem that this community are in is equally important because refugee and stateless, they don't have the resources that we have as a local Malaysian, or they don't have much opportunity as we are. So that is why we wanted to build the ecosystem for the refugee and the stateless. For example, we employ the graduate from our school to become our teacher and also to become like para-social worker to be part of the social work services that we are providing. And this whole approach is built on the foundation of holistic transformation, because what we want to see is not only their immediate problem being solved or their immediate needs being met, but it's a long-term transformation in their value of life, in how they perceive whatever challenges that happen in their life, and eventually they can be independent and they can be more equipped and empowered in responding other issue that is coming along their life journey. So that is the holistic transformation that we wish to see it happen among the refugee and the stateless. Okay, so the social work methods that we apply in El Shaddai, first thing, of course, we do a lot of case management because we deal with a lot of high-risk cases, for example, child abuse and domestic violence cases, and also, like as I mentioned, the mental health issue, and also the people with disability. So there are a lot of services we need to provide, which makes the whole case management process become very complicated. And that is how a professional social worker needed to identify exactly what are the core issues that need to be addressed at a specific moment. And then later on, we have a more comprehensive case plan for this specific individual. How do we sustain the individual to manage their life better? And with that said, the case management will link to some of the group work that we are doing. We have a lot of community empowerment program because we want to create a social environment that is more supportive with a group of people that having maybe similar issue to help one another. And also with the dynamic of group work, we can encourage individuals to be more proactive in responding to their challenges of the situation in Malaysia. Third one is the community work. We try to bring people together. There are a lot of different nationalities of refugee in Malaysia. According to UNHCR, there are 52 nationalities. So among all these foreign groups of people, there are a lot of solidarity issue as well. So we wanted to bring people together, and we want to empower them to see actually they can also have their own community in Malaysia. They can help one another, can they support one another, that eventually, even though they are transiting in Malaysia, they can also contribute back to the local society here. So that's why we are focusing on building community cohesion. We are focusing on bringing people together, and with that, they can also respond to whatever situation or issue the individual and the family face within their community. Lastly, we do advocacy at individual, community, and also policy level. A very immediate example is whenever we bring foreign clients to government hospital, that is the first point of contact that we can do advocacy for the people. Because generally, I believe some of you here also have the experience, the foreigners are not really treated in a very friendly or polite way. So that's why whenever we bring the victims or survivors to hospital, the first thing is we want to advocate for them to have a equal treatment as local people. Okay, and at a community level, we empower the children or maybe the mothers to understand how do they learn to protect themselves. What should they do whenever an issue happening at home or whatever risk they are facing? We educate them to know how to respond and how to make report. Okay, so we also teach the community people to advocate for themselves, to voice out whatever situation they are facing. And lastly, the data or experience that we gain in the groundwork, we channel all this information back to UNHCR or any other higher authorities to do policy changes at a higher level. And that's how every part coming together and play the different roles. And a professional social worker is the key person to connect all these relevant scope of the work to make it meaningful and valuable. And you can see from the chart, the four major methods that we are using in social is actually interrelated, and it contributes to the policy changes eventually, which will bring a greater impact to the whole society and the nation building. Okay, so this is some of the model that we are using in the work that we are doing. So if let's say familiar with this ecological system theory, because we believe an individual is greatly affected by the community that they are in, and this community also shaped by the ecosystem that are building up surrounding this community. So that is the reason why in El Shaddai we are looking at we are using a holistic transformation approach to do our social work services. Yes, so this is the model that we develop with the work that we do in El Shaddai. So we are not working only at individual level, but we also work closely with family, community, and also advocate for the greater change of the ecosystem. Okay, the work that we do in El Shaddai is contributing to the relevant SDG. You can see on the screen, the work that we do under El Shaddai, we have contributing to SDG number 3, good health and well-being. And of course, the quality education is a major part of the work that we do. And in 2022, we received a recognition from the JCI Malaysia to be one of the best practitioners to provide this quality education. And we also contribute to gender equality and also SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institution. So we also received another recognition from JCI Malaysia as well in this year, only recently in the month of August, that we also contributing greatly to the SDG 16 in all the social work services that we are providing. And of course, we are grateful to all the partners that we are working together, local NGO, overseas NGO, and also a lot of faith-based organizations, including, of course, UNHCR, UNICEF. These are all our implementing partners together to achieve the goal that we wish to see it happening. Okay, so lastly, because today here we are trying to promote the recognition of social work professionalism. So with all the participants here and then also online, I wish that you can follow us through all the tagline and hashtag we have been promoting. Of course, another very important part is please follow more on Malaysian Association of Social Workers so that you can know what are the latest development from the MRSW. And secondly, do give your support and recognition to all the social workers that you know. And of course, I would also greatly encourage all of you to equip yourself, to be a professional, even though maybe you are a part-time social worker or you want to do volunteerism. So you can also equip yourself with professional knowledge and skill to become, to do a more impactful work, because with knowledge and the skill that you gain, contribute to a greater changes. And lastly, be a professional social worker yourself. So there are a lot of institution or educational institution providing a lot of training, and also the courses that offer by the various university and colleges. So please, if let's say possible, do sign up for yourself and become a professional social worker. Okay, so I have one last video to play.
And I'm from Myanmar. My parents were divorced when I was 7 years old, so I was growing up with my grandparents in a small village. So in a village, we have to work more than 12 hours a day to get food.
Forced displacement can happen to anyone as a result of persecution, conflict, generalized violence, or human rights violations. Hundreds of thousands of people from Myanmar have faced years of violence, discrimination, and political persecution. The resulting forced migration has since caused a tremendous humanitarian crisis.
For me, honestly, I don't feel like I belong here because this is not my country, and also I cannot live here forever. Of course, I have to travel to another country because I'm living here under UNHCR. So I have to, travel other country and make life, make family and life there, stay with family. I feel like I belong in my country because I born there and I grew up there. All my childhood memories were there. So I feel like more likely I belong there.
The resettlement of a refugee is not as easy. According to UNHCR, fewer than 1% of refugees are resettled each year.
Currently, I'm living in Malaysia. Like a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers, same age as me, they can do a lot of things that I can't do. For example, they can buy a motorcycle, they can buy a car, but I can't buy. I'm not from here, so for me it's very hard to get a license as well because I'm living under UNHCR. So yeah, it's very tough to live here.
I'm currently working in Al Shaddai as a teacher at the school where I studied before. When I first joined Al Shaddai, my English was so bad I didn't even understand a single word of English. But in 2.5 years, my English language communication started to change. Now I can speak with anybody from different nationalities in English. So I want to thank Al Shaddai teachers and leaders who gave me opportunity to study in Al Shaddai. Thank you so much for everything.
Now I'm living in Malaysia, so even if I want to go back to my country, my own country, I cannot go back because my country is still going war. So for me to go back there, even my family to go back there cannot because there are a lot of dangerous people, especially the Burmese soldier. They're killing innocent people there. So I can't go back there. Even staying in Malaysia forever is not going to be guaranteed because I'm not from here and also I'm living under UNHCR. Of course, UNHCR gonna take me to other country. So my future is so uncertain, not guarantee whether I'm gonna be here or I'm gonna be back to my country. It's not sure for 100%. So if I can go back to other country, if I have chances there to live or chances there to study, then I will continue my life there.
Okay, so I will just leave the video to all of you, and hopefully with that video you can understand a bit better what are the challenges faced by refugee community in Malaysia. And lastly, do join me in this action of love mercy, do justice, and work humbly. And because of this social work journey, I would say I am the first person that benefiting from whatever work that we do. Because when we work closely with a person, and you can see how much potential a person they have in them. And a lot of time is because of lacking of the opportunity, because of the structural issue or maybe systemic issue that causing them to be in the situation or challenges they are facing at a certain point of their time. And with the opportunity to journey with them, I really learned a lot from the person that I'm working together, the client that I help, and even the community. I see a lot of possibility in them, but because of the restriction that they have and they cannot exercise that power inside them. And with that, I really learn to be more humble with myself, and I also grow together with the client. So yeah, do join us, the social worker, professional social worker in Malaysia, and we do hope that a lot more of you can come alongside with us to build a better nation in Malaysia. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Jenny, for sharing your journey and sharing about El Shaddai Berhad, and also the wonderful work that you do there and what the center does. So, without further ado, I would like to invite Madam Jenny to give a token of appreciation to Miss Jenny. I guna mic ni boleh? Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, we are nearing to the end of the event, but before that, I would like to invite Mr. Iqbal Hakim, Program Director Diploma in Social Work of Tun Ahmad Sarji School of Government and Public Services for the closing speech. Please join me in welcoming him.
Hello. Hello. Assalamualaikum. And a very, I think it's still morning to everyone. To the participants here physically and online. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, respected NGOs as mentioned, those who are attending, civil society members, Unirazak staff and faculty members, parents, students and members of the public. Alright, celebrating this significant event, social workers, Yirong Among Us, is not just about shedding the light on what social work actually is, but it's more on symbolizing our collective commitment and efforts towards a brighter and more compassionate future, especially in the social work field. Right, the insights that we have required from our two guest speakers today and from the initial sharings from our dean on the social work in Malaysia, the journey that we have gone through, and also some perspective into the stateless and undocumented individuals here in Malaysia, on what social work practices will surely strengthen the grasp of our audience on what makes social workers so crucial here in Malaysia. Right? We here in Unirazak acknowledge our immense responsibility to shape compassionate professionals through social work education who will serve as a beacon of light and hope in a world that often feels overwhelmed by hardship and inequality. Finally, I would like to thank all the individuals who have contributed officially and unofficially to making today a success. Right, and I hope following the sessions today, you will feel enlightened and feel it's fulfilling lah for you to what social work actually represents. Right, as we conclude this event, let us remember that social work is not just a profession, but it's more like a calling, and it is a commitment to uplift, empower, and advocate for those who truly need it. Right, may this Heroes Among Us campaign in collaboration with Malaysian Association of Social Workers and UNICEF ignite a passion to be the change we wish to see in the world, not just through helping individuals and communities, but to do it with the right social work knowledge, values, and ethics. So with that, I conclude my closing remarks for today. I thank you. All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Iqbal. So just reading off the last few comments on our social media. with regards to Miss Jenny's talk. Ananti Raj says it's very inspiring. Someone with the name Enchanters. Great inspiration, he or she says. Mr. Padmanathan Nalasamy says, well done, Uniraza and MASW. So thank you so much. Isa, Afin also have joined in with the comments. And Nur Izati, thank you so much for your thoughts and also for sharing your opinions about the current situation of the refugees. Okay, right. Now it's time for all of us to do our part. First up, I would like to invite all participants here at Uniraza as well as online to take just 1 to 2 minutes of your time to virtually scan the QR code that you see on your screen and complete the evaluation form. So your views will inform the advocacy and communication strategy as well as implementation and the engagement with MPs and parliamentarians and as well as lobby for the social work profession bill. So it's really, really important. Each voice matters. And once you complete that, Uniraza will give you a digital certificate for attending today's event online as well as for those who are here. And it will only be given once you have completed the evaluation form. So I'm going to give all of you about a minute to do the form. I was told that's all it takes. So if you are online, just let us know that you have completed the form. Just give us an idea. Okay. So, Ija, do we have people saying that they've completed the form online? Oh, okay. All right. Just let me know because I do want to give the opportunity for all to do it. Got some feedback. Most of you all have done it. So I'm going to now proceed with the final segment, and it's also one of the highlights. We are going to do something called call for action, and everyone is invited to come to the front and hold a call for action card. Okay, this card has 3 statements. The first statement is change the story, change lives. And the second one is Heroes Among Us. And the third one is? Oh, okay, change the story, change lives. Okay. All right, so please grab a place card. Everyone is invited, including those who just came. Our student ambassador is here. In front, in front. Come to the front, come to the front. You're all invited to come to the front. Thank you, Mr. Sunny. So for those who just came, this is to support social work in Malaysia. Yeah. So we have speakers from UNICEF and MASW, Malaysian. Okay. All right. So what are you going to do with the place card? All you need to do is raise the place card on top of your head, and you have to say this statement called change the story, change lives, on a count of 1, 2, 3. Okay? Wait, I need the other mic. Okay. Okay. All right. So great. You all look great. Kita buat camera. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. So what's the statement you say? Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think you can do it a little bit better. So maybe at the second part, change the story. You can the ones who are standing in front, maybe put it in front, and the ones at the back, can put it on the neck. Yes. Okay, so this is the real one. I think you memorize it. Okay. Right. It's simple, like. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hey. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for participating. Thank you, Datin, for raising it. And this is the time we're quickly to mingle around. We have a student who registered today, diploma in social work. So please, the student is free to mingle around. Thank you so much to those who joined us online live. There are about 50 of you. We are really happy to have you. Thank you again for gracing us and for being patient with us throughout. I hope that you have learned a lot. I hope we have gathered a lot of information about social work. Those who are supporting us from MASW or from UNICEF or from the different institutions, thank you again for joining us. Salam Malaysia. Terima kasih.